Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Had to think about that for a minute, and I'm not even on beer today. I'm on water. I hope everybody had a nice Monday. Hope everyone had a good New Comic Book Day DC, I guess, if you picked them up today. I know I picked up my DC books. I was just in the area, so I did. Today we got a fun one for you guys. We're going to be talking about a few books: keep, sell, buy, what you should do, if you should buy a book, if you should sell it, if you should hold it. So hopefully the chat gets really into it. If you guys have any ideas or books, let us know. But yeah, I'm expecting big things from the chat, good conversations, just from us in general, and maybe putting out some good information out there that maybe you guys didn't know, maybe you already know, or maybe you didn't know the prices that they were going. So before we get started, let's bring in my panel, my team, my family. Mr. Information is what I call him, the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from Pennsylvania. It's FaceTime. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Another show. This is what, show 3 this week for all of us, right? We had Sunday, man. We had yesterday, now we have today, so
it's a lot, bro.
And never to be outdone, we've got another guy in the backstage area waiting. You know him as Hyper Combo. I know him as Red Pill, Blue Pill, Mr. Quebec. It is Hyper. What's up, man?
What's up?
Mr. Blue Pill.
You know, it's Red Pill, Blue Pill. You can't just keep saying the Blue Pill.
Nah.
Blue the Red Pill. You know, hey, it is what it is. So guys, thank you for joining us today.
Mr. Blue Pill.
We got a really fun one for you. Usually when we do these segments, they're really fun. A lot of people sometimes learn about a few books, and sometimes we have that question. I always say, like, just because I like a certain thing, my vision is like this. So sometimes I might think I should hold the book or I should sell it. And it's always interesting to see what the chat has to say, what the panel has to say about certain books. So it's always good just to get new information. FaceTime has, at the end of our show, he's going to have a few minutes to talk to you guys about the situation that happened on Sunday. I'm assuming everybody knows about it, but I bring that up only because we will be on journos, myself, Hyper, and I believe Keys. I think it was like 90% that Keys was going to be able to make it. I can't remember. But I think the 3 of us are going to be able to make it on Journal's channel on Friday. We're going to be talking about the God of Light situation, things like that. So tune in. You guys know Journal is one of the best dudes in this community, so go check him out. So we'll be there on Friday. Face will not be there, so he's going to take a few minutes today to kind of just, say his piece on a few things, and that's it. But yeah. That'll be at the end. Sure. Before we get started, because we're now official. We are official. We've got to give some props to our sponsors and partners. Yep. First up, Big B Comics in Niagara. Yes, they're in Niagara, but guess what? Canada-wide, they ship. They bring you good stuff. They got eBay accounts. They've got 3 stores, one in Barrie, one in Hamilton, and the one I go to in Niagara. So check them out. Next up, we got Bleecker Street Comics. $10 to press a book, $5 to clean. He will be doing CGC submissions later on, so definitely make sure you guys check him out. He's also got a website. It's right there, bleekerstreetcomics.com. I believe yesterday he said he had 2,000 comments already on the website. More to come.
Damn.
And finally, newest to the channel. You guys might have seen me post some things, but we have Bird City Comics. I met him and his wife on Drunken Chat a few times. A really solid dude. He linked up with me. We've been talking about a few things. So so he will be partnering up or sponsoring, whatever word you guys want to use. But he will be kind of supporting the channel, and we got a few things happening with that. If you don't know Bird City Comics, definitely go check them out. They've got special variants and things like that I posted today. So go check them out. Go sub, go follow. Really solid dude. Really solid shop.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice.
So that's it for that. One day I hope to be like, this is brought to you by Ford or, Philadelphia Eagles or New Era, something like
Damn.
that. But,
You
or
got
7-Eleven,
some goals.
something like that. But we'll see. So we are all here for one thing. It's comic talk. So let's get it on.
I mean, y'all can do that. I'll just skip this session then.
Before we get started, let's hit the chat real quick. Renos, what's up, man? Johnny, I'll be jumping back and forth. Yeah, man. Hey, no worries. Sam, what's going on? Ramirez, Johnny Dakota, another presser here in Canada. I will be getting his information soon to share with you guys. If you guys don't know, Johnny does pressing, so hit him up for that as well.
Yeah.
Sam Rock, the place I ordered comic books only allowed people to order one of the Red X variant, and they said in the description, if you order more than one, you will lose all copies that you ordered.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's certain
wow.
websites that I went to where the cover B, they only allowed one per customer. So yeah.
This one right here?
Yeah, this one right there, yeah.
Whew.
Yeah,
So-
they were pretty strict on that.
Damn. I was actually the last one. Like my shop was, they told me I was the last one. So
Yeah. People are definitely copping those.
yeah. Travel and Root Beer, what's going on, man? If you guys didn't check it out, Hyper yesterday before our show was on Travel and Root Beer with Johnny Rosario.
Rosado.
They were talking wrestling, so if you're in wrestling, definitely go check them out. Johnny's back. What's going on? Budo 66. Pedro, what's going on, man? Oregon. Boom. Tiger. So yeah, so guys, let's get to it. Enough of the professionalism and things like that. Let's hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have another Beta Bill Ray situation going on.
Come on, we
I got
definitely need
water
one of
today.
those.
I got water today, so hopefully we're in good spirit.
Did you figure that out on the rewind after?
No, I knew what it was, but I was just like, man, it was just already like a long day, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it. I'll probably be on like, Sif probably. He usually takes people's clips and does some stuff, so I'll probably be, if I ever go on their show, he'll probably have that as mine. So hey, it is what it is. It's all for fun, guys, so don't worry. I didn't get offended. But yeah. So guys, keep, sell, buy. We do this once a month. Some new books are added. Some books from the past may be added. We basically ask the question, should you keep it? Should you sell it? Should you buy it? We all have a few books. Hyper was a little bit late on submitting 2 books, but we can talk about it later. We can also
Well, that's shocking.
We can also talk about.
You just had to throw me under the bus.
We can also talk about any books that the chat might have. So yeah, so let's get started, guys. So the way I did this is in order, I think, because of the way I got the books and when I put them in this presentation was me, Hyper, and then Face. Okay. But if I made a mistake, just whoever put the book up, you guys can talk about it a little bit more. So with that said, I am up first. First book. Oh yes. Okay. So I kind of posted this book on IG. I believe it was yesterday. Basically, this is, well, I shouldn't say basically, this is the first appearance of Winter Soldier. I believe the book came out in 2005. I have it. 2005. And,
Epic pause.
It got a lot of heat, obviously, because he was one of the mainstream, second tier, I guess you could say, mainstream characters in the MCU. He's a character we all, have seen for a very long time. The reason I brought this book up was basically because of the fact that look at what's happened with the WandaVision stuff, with Scarlet Witch, with Vision, especially Vision, we didn't know what was going to happen. We assumed he was dead. He's not. That hasn't changed the market from his first appearance, his origin, just any book. I know Matt Forge was talking about, I believe it was Avengers 186, the origin of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Like that book is, I keep seeing people buying it. It's kind of blowing up. A lot of people are just buying anything that has to do with the title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What that means for this book is, well, let's face it. And I know Face is gonna say his piece, but one, I think this one is not going to be as slow. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have more action. It's going to be more packed. There's going to be more, of what the and the explosions and things like that. So for that reason, I think it's going to catch on more to more people. Maybe people who aren't into comics as much, right? For that reason, and from what I've seen from Wanda and the Vision stuff, I feel like this one has a little bit of spike left. In a 9.6, you can pick this up, or 9.4, sorry, is selling at 160 to 180. So I don't think that it's crazy enough that you, if you own it, could make some coin off that if that's what you're looking for. I own it. Mine's a 9.4, but I paid like $80 for it. So already I'm seeing like double if I were to sell it. But that's definitely a book that I would keep until the show comes.
And you paid 80 for the slab, or you paid 80
for the slab? 80 for the slab, yeah.
Yeah, because oh no, I was just gonna say while you were talking, I was just looking on eBay, and I think I saw a raw one sold for like 100, and another one sold for $80. So it is getting up there, even the raw copy.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? It's already seen a spike. It's already done. But you know what? In our community, the way it works is historically. I mean, I was interested to see the sales on Sunday after that Super Bowl trailer, and it did go up. A lot of people were posting this book. Oh, I have this book. Boom, boom, boom. But like I said, right, a year ago, I paid $85. I can't remember for a slab 9.4. And this presentation was done on, I believe, this was actually done on Friday before the Super Bowl. So even those prices, I mean, that could be updated even now. So yeah, but for me, this is a keep. This is definitely a keep right now. If you have it, I wouldn't buy it simply because I believe there's going to be a spike to it. So afterwards, I think you might be able to just pick it up for cheap if it is one of those books you really want to have in your collection.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those things where, because we know that the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is only supposed to be 6 episodes, and they're pretty much going to do it almost. I think Feige or someone in MCU did mention how it's essentially going to be a movie that's just going to be broken into 6 episodes. Really,
Yeah.
They don't want it to be actually viewed as a TV series. It's just basically a movie chopped up, and this is potentially one of those things where it could elevate the Falcon and Winter Soldier to another tier. Because right now, like you mentioned earlier in your presentation, they're pretty much relegated in the whole MCU schematics.
MCUs? Okay.
I mix schematics and MCUs. All right. I'll give you that one. Yeah, but I mean, they're pretty much relegated to that. I would say like D or C level characters. So I would like to think that the show would elevate their status in the whole MCU.
Yeah, and solely just because like I get it, right? Like people are saying, well, the Winter Soldier movie already came out. He's already had a big role. Like this show is going to be short. What's going to happen? I totally get that. I understand that. But at the same time, I know that WandaVision is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. This one's up next. So I'm looking at society right now saying, okay, we're still a lot of places are still in lockdown. We still got COVID. People mentally are still in that, this is a different era for buying books, right? Like just the prices that you see and things like that. I really do think that even with what we saw with WandaVision and with Scarlet Witch and Vision stuff going up, even though we knew it was coming, this is also one of those things, right? And I see the same thing happening with the Loki stuff. Anything Loki is going to get hot for a minute, and then I think it's going to die down just like it is, especially with these shows, right? Because it's just going to be one of those, in and out, and then they'll probably regain traction as season 2 or season 3 or whatever the case is for seasons, right?
Yeah, I always thought historically this book was kind of undervalued just because, we know it's not the first appearance of Bucky Barnes as the character. I mean, it's just him in his Winter Soldier persona, but it's almost like the same thing with, Jason Todd with the whole Red Hood thing. Jason Todd was, he appeared a while back, but when he got his first appearance as the Red Hood, that book is already, I think raw, that's already like $150 book. So I'm kind of surprised when you compare those two. This one is still kind of sitting below that $100 mark for the longest time. So
I think this one has more of an edge. Like I would say he's obviously more popular than Jason Todd, and here's why.
I think he can get more popular, but I don't know, between the two, it's hard for me to say who is more popular really, because I know there's
I don't want to open that can of worms, but what I'm saying is, the only time we actually seen him as Bucky Barnes and fighting alongside Captain America was for a short period of time in the first Captain America movie. After that, all the Avengers and in all the Captain America movies, it was Winter Soldier. That's what he was known, right? So he's already, especially with like newer people in the community, right, and new collectors and things like that. I see them thinking, oh, okay, like this is who I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like if you're in that 18 to 20-year-old range, like you grew up knowing him as Winter Soldier. Like obviously, I mean, that first appearance of Bucky Barnes is like golden age Captain America.
That in and of itself is already an expensive book.
So you know what I mean? Like, so I think that this one is more attainable. This one's more affordable. But yeah, is it going to see a spike? Absolutely, because of how we do things in our hobby, right? Something comes up and something's hot and nobody wants to miss out, so it's going to rise up.
And I think it would also help if he was also featured more on Marvel's publishing side as well. I mean, I know he has that miniseries Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's really just there to coincide with the TV show. But it would be nice that if Marvel kind of gave him a bit more attention in the comics as well.
Yeah. A few people came in. Paul in the 619. What's happening, brother? And Magic Lasso, one of my favorite people in the community, one of the nicest guys. What is going on, brother? All right. So so next book we got. Oh, sorry. So I'm supposed to ask. So what is your opinion? Keep, sell, buy? My opinion, obviously, you see it right there. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, I would say keep.
You know what? I actually think I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna say probably just because, like, this probably is one of the better times sell right now between when the trailer drops and when the show comes out, because we don't know how the show is gonna be. It looks like it'll be decent, but if it comes out and it sucks, then people probably aren't going to be on the book as much.
That is true.
So there is a risk in keeping it until after the show comes out. If your intention is to get rid of it, yeah, I think this is probably one of your better times to sell it, because the trailer looks great, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the show will be.
So the thing is, I would have that same opinion if this was an indie book, just because we don't know how certain indie movies pan out. But just because
it's Marvel, it's a safer property.
Exactly. I just find it's a more safer bet to assume that the movie or the TV series, sorry, in this case, would actually elevate this book.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But wasn't this supposed to come out before WandaVision?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right.
I think they originally planned it that way. I believe.
So I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time with this one because I did have 2 copies. I had a raw copy and I sold it after the fall. But I will have a hard time with this one because Winter Soldier is, a top 5 character for me. I liked how he was done in the movies. I like him in the comics and things like that. It would be hard for me to part with it, but if I part with something, it's always for the greater good. So yeah, so I don't know where I'll be. Do I see this being $1,000 book? No, I don't. I really don't.
No.
You kind of see where when War Machine is. You kind of see where who else? Just that caliber of characters and where the price points are. So that's where I see this book. But for a guy, like I bought it for $85. If I could sell it for $240, I'm happy. All right, next book.
Yes, I know we talked about this before in a previous installment, but it's So it's this is my pick, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Spider-Man 55, the first print. We know that up till this point, there's been a third print that has been announced that's supposed to release at some point in March, which is that neon blue cover. And then the second print had the red cover. This is the OG, the black and white. I know originally on our previous show, I think we kind of almost unanimously voted that this is a sell, but I kind of changed my tune on this book, and I'm actually going to say if you can, I mean, the caveat is obviously you find the best deal you can, but I would say it's a buy, just because um, my this is my opinion. Whenever a cover gets swiped or is paid homage to, I always find that the original that kind of adds stock to the original cover because that basically
Yeah.
spawned all these imitations. Um, and I just found out on IG how they're doing like that Avengers Curse of the Man thing, Patrick Gleason variant, which is coming out in March. So this is not going to stop. Um, and I just think the price. I mean, right now I think a raw copy of this is probably selling for like around 35, $40. I
That's
just feel like Yeah, I just feel that it actually could go higher, just because, especially when people are trying to put those sets together, they're gonna want to find that first print if they can. So for that reason, I'm gonna say buy. Again, it's almost like I'm saying buy, but like I'm trying to say buy, but trying to find a deal for it.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see the understanding, right? Like the story, there's nothing really cool about it. It's just definitely a cover buy. Yeah, we had that second printing. I don't know how it's doing so well. I think everybody and their mother knew that that second printing was coming, so not much was happening. My thought on this one has always been sell.
And there's just one thing I have to bring up before we continue. I should also bring up the disclaimer. I would look for one that is equivalent to a 9.8. I think that's pretty much your sweet spot because that cover is going to be notoriously difficult to get a 9.8 in just because of the blackness in the cover. So I would say um, grab it if it's a 9.8 worthy, or you even buy a slab that's already in a 9.8 condition if the price is right. But
Yeah, but it's hard to find those 9.8s in this, man. Like,
you're just gonna have to inspect it, and like I would say that just be careful when you're buying online because ask for detailed pictures when it comes to this book.
yeah, in my opinion, the first print and the Virgin are the only ones that. Yeah, the Virgin one is getting a lot of heat, man.
The
I
only reason, yeah.
I
Sorry,
just
go
think
ahead.
overall, like in the long term, I don't like. I get the whole, slab it and put it as a set and things like that. Like that's one argument. That's one way to look at it. And again, that goes back to collect however you want. But if you're looking as an investment thing, like I think 5 years down the road, those the prices will be lower and things like that. I don't know. I get it. It's a sick cover. Don't get me wrong. I love the cover. I wish I would have grabbed it, but yeah, I just think it's a sell. Like sell it while it's hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I think the thing with this one really is because because there's just nothing in the story. The key to it is pretty much going to be the condition, the grade that you can get with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a straight cover buy, and if you're buying it for that reason, a lot of people are going to want to protect the cover. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you can find a copy in in a high grade and you don't have it, I mean, yeah, it's probably worth picking up. Don't necessarily think you'll see much lower prices on it at any point in time than it's
I
got
don't think so. No.
than it's going now. Yeah, I think it'll at least hold the price that it's at
So
if it doesn't go up or anything. So yeah, it's probably worth picking up.
so my choice is to sell. Hyper is saying buy or hold. Face, it seems like you're saying hold or buy as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pacino's saying I got doubles of the first print at cover, so I'll flip with second and third prints with it also. Yeah, I mean, if you were lucky
Yeah.
enough to get it at cover price, like, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But if you're looking for, to clear some space, make some money for a different book, or pay for your books the following week, I mean, I think you could make top coin right now.
But here's the thing, though. Who's to say this is gonna stop at a third print? And the
Yeah.
thing is, we've seen this happen with the Ice Cream Man, Dr. Seuss homage. I brought this up before, where I felt that every time they bought a later print, and when you increase that set of like issue 20 of Ice Cream Man, it almost made the set more valuable as a sum of all its part rather than individually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was just say that's the other thing. You're still waiting on the third print to come out yet. So.
And possibly a fourth. You never know.
Yeah, great.
Ah, yes.
Well. What do we have
Well,
here?
Who the fuck put this book on there?
Well,
Speaking
Face, you're up, sir. Keep, sell, buy. FaceTime's first book up. We got Micronauts number 8. First appearance of Captain Universe. First reveal, I guess, of God of Light. Raw copies. And again, guys, this was done the Friday before, like Sunday. So obviously the numbers for this aren't accurate. After Sunday, I wasn't able to update it, so that is my bad. But these numbers are not accurate. So before the news broke, you could get a raw copy, $17, $40. I saw for like near mint things like that. The last CG sold on Friday at a 9.2 was $80. The last sold CGC 9.6 was $115, and that was back in November. So again, these were all sales prior to Sunday's news.
Yeah,
Face,
those don't seem to
where's
be
yours?
accurate anymore.
I'm actually looking at the eBay values while you guys are talking, so I'll get you the values.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, honestly, if you've got like a stack of this book or something, obviously it's the sell time because people are looking for it now after the news that dropped. And the thing is, I don't really foresee it holding the values that it's at right now either, because even if, the character comes into King and Black series or whatever, and assuming that it would solely play a part in the resolution of that series, which I kind of doubt to begin with, think there's obviously going to be more to it coming in, the last issue. But even if that were the case, you still know that eventually Captain Universe is probably going to leave from Eddie or whatever. So it's not really like sticking around as a character that's going to see current rotation in Marvel's output.
Yeah.
So I actually just saw a couple of values. I'm seeing 9.8 yesterday. One was sold for 400. This is U.S. prices. One was sold for 400. One was sold for 500. I'm seeing like a 9.6 sell for 230. Raws are going in that $100 range for near mint, and then like a very good condition is going for like 20, 30. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Way to go, guys. Way to fuck the market up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I damn sure didn't tell anybody to buy the book.
No, that is crazy, man.
Yeah, like I'm seeing the VF is like 45. Yeah.
I'm on the same boat as Face. You guys can see my choice right there. For me, this is a sell if I have it. It seems like the whole world is going crazy for it. Again, guys, I'm not saying sell because I'm trying to pump and dump a book. I told you guys, and I was very honest, I don't have a copy of this book. We had this information days prior to going early or going live with this, and we didn't pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, so me, it's just a straight sell because for the same reasons that Face just said. I just don't think it's going to be something long term. I think eventually, it's going to, detach from Eddie, and then we're going to get a different story and yada, yada, yada. So for me, it's a sell. FaceTime, it's a sell. Hyper, where are you on this book?
Yeah, I got to go with both of you, both of your opinions. It's a sell because only for the same reason, like Face mentioned, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a long-lasting relationship between, Mr. Uni and Eddie Brock. And also, keep in mind, this is the tail end of Donny Cates's Venom run. So, even if there were plans, it's going to be in limbo anyway. So those prices are definitely going to be dipping after the Venom series is going to wrap up.
Yeah.
And this was never really on my radar to begin with. I know there are people that are fans of Micronauts, but usually when a book spikes for like, especially a Bronze Age book that's been around forever, and if there's like an initial spike just because of the storyline drop, just as high as it went up, it's just gonna crash the same. It's almost like a rubber band effect.
Yeah.
Like it's not a slow build in this case. This one just kind of shot up out of nowhere.
Right.
That's true. All right. So it's sell unanimously for all three of us. Next book, and this is me. Go figure. I know nothing about Star Wars except the Phantom Menace and the fact that shout out to Punch and Coco and Hyper for letting me know. Go stack this book. But yeah, so we got Star Wars High Republic #1. This is the variant. I believe this is the 1 in 10.
No, 1 in 25.
1 in 25. Okay, so I got the 1 in 25 here. Obviously, those prices aren't for the 1 in 25. So yeah, you got those first appearances right there. The cover A, so the first cover is still selling at $25 to $30. You're not seeing a lot of people sell them because everyone's holding them, right?
Yeah.
It's just something like I'm down to my last copy. I had 5. I'm down to my last one, so I'm holding on to it. I'm also pairing it up with the second print that I got, and then the third print that comes out tomorrow. I think it's just going to be a nice set to have. If you guys didn't know, the third print is coming out tomorrow. So make sure you guys pick it up, I guess.
Finish with your PowerPoint though, bro. You put all that effort into it. Go ahead.
You guys just want me to pronounce
it? Go ahead. Come on, man. Come on, man. Go ahead with that.
But yeah, my choice for this one would be if you have it, and especially if it's your last copy, whether it be the cover A or one of the variants, if it's your last copy, I think you got to keep it. It's just got, its first appearance is issue 1. All those things matter. I usually go to Keys for my information on Star Wars. He will tell you it is the most boring part of the Star Wars era at the time. Not much happens, but they're making something out of it. People are holding on to it. A lot of people had success flipping it. So if you're down to your last copy, I would say keep. If you got a few copies, I mean, you want to have some money for the next week. I mean, I think you can sell a book. But yeah, for me, it's a keep.
I mean, for the blind people in the chat that can't see PowerPoint, you mind telling them what the first appearances are in this book?
No, man, I will. I'll send it in Braille.
Damn, that's harsh, bro. That's harsh.
But no, I have to agree with Newbie also on this one. Just because, yeah, it's the first issue, and clearly they're trying to build something here. In the Marvel umbrella with this High Republic stuff. And look, I've told you guys numerous times I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I kind of picked this up because also this is pretty much almost like the foundation, I guess, of the Star Wars, universe as we know it. So I figured let me, get in on the ground floor and kind of read the series and, see how it goes.
Yeah. So. Let's just do this just for fun. Cleve, Trennis, Avar, Chris, and Sleeker.
Sleeker. That wasn't too horrible, actually.
No? Okay, hey, whatever. I like how Hyper's like face, so like that just makes me think that Hyper didn't know either. But
there was only like 2 little parts that you botched up there.
Yeah.
You said Cleve instead of Keeve.
Yeah, you put an L in there.
Nah, whatever. Yeah. Right? I was thinking sleeve. Whatever.
Yeah, and then what do you say for the last one? Slicker? What did you say? What? Skier. Okay,
whatever. Right.
Like a fucking like a downhill skier.
Okay. Oh, there you go, guys. So this is the first time I'm seeing these names, so it is what it is. Big shout out to
good attempt though.
Big shout out to Comic Knight, Mr. Sandy. He's got his channel. He does live claim sales and things like that. He just did chain mail. I think the grand prize was a 9.4 Moon Knight #1, which will be a very good book to add to your collection. He's always doing some stuff like that, so go check him out. Fellow Canadian too, so I got to give him love. Sure. Austin, what is going on, man? Yeah, so I guess it's a keep for all of us. Face, you're on the keep side.
Yeah, for me, this is definitely a keep too for now. There's an initiative behind this High Republic stuff, and it's broader than just comics or novels or whatever. Yeah, I think they're actually planning to do some, live action or animated stuff in the High Republic era. So you never know. You might not see these characters show up, but you could see a lot of similar concepts and stuff like that show up. So
and keep in mind, they're not gonna like if you're buying this more on a spec basis, keep in mind they're not going to dump all these characters in the first issue. I'm sure that in the next couple of issues, at least for the first or second arc, you're going to see new characters being rolled out. I'm sure of that. So
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next book here. And we've got Mr. Hyper with Venom 9. Venom 9 is the first full appearance of Dylan Brock. I put Rock. Not sure what the hell I was doing. Huge future. There some people say he's got a huge future. It depends on what side of the coin. I put ugly ass cover. I think this is. I don't like this cover. I'll be honest with you guys. For the longest time, I didn't know that it was a dog.
oh dear.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a dog. I just thought it was like a very bad Venom, or it was around the time that I was hanging around Mel V, and that whole dinosaur stuff was going on. So I was like, oh, maybe it's a dinosaur, But yeah, I think it's an ugly ass cover, but I definitely think it's a hold. I really do. But Hyper, this is your book, so take it away, man.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I only brought this up more so for a conversation piece because, to be honest, I'm not really sure where I stand on this one because I would have probably told you to, I guess, hold it as well. But just because Johnny Cates dropped the news that he's, leaving Venom after 2 issues, I'm not sure where Dylan goes after this. I mean, in a sense, where storyline wise, I mean, is he gonna pop in AS7 or are they gonna reboot Venom in the future? I have a feeling that this book's value is gonna dip, just because it's gonna be out of sight and out of mind for certain people, for actually a lot of people. So in that sense, I would say if you have it, hold it.
Yeah, and that's that. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same way, but you're hearing a lot of people, keep, sell.
But I do feel that there is bigger plans for Dylan in the future, but I think that's going to be more so down the line. I don't think we're going to get we will get a payoff obviously to the end of King in Black, but I feel like the Dylan storyline is yet to be told, like where he's the focal point, because right now it's still about Eddie Brock, I find, with the whole King in Black storyline.
Yeah.
Well,
Hero reviews. What's going on, man? Been a while since I've seen you here, so thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Faith.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call because, like you both have mentioned, Dylan has potential to be something pretty significant in the future, but it's just going to depend on where the next creative team takes him.
That's exactly.
It's a tough call because the new creative team may come in and not like the character at all, and the fact is, just because of the powers that he's displayed so far in King in Black, no matter what, it's created a situation that character has to be dealt with in the Venom series one way or another. They either have to have some kind of endgame future for him in mind, or they're going to get rid of his powers at the very least.
Yeah. I think.
But a lot of people in the chat are saying so. I think.
A lot of them are saying so. Here's the thing that I think is funny is, there's a. And I mean, I'm not throwing shade on any YouTuber, any content, nothing. But there was so many people telling people, "Man, pick this up, pick this book up. It's this, that." I was always saying, "Don't, just wait." I was saying, if you really want this book in your collection, I was always telling people, wait, because of the fact I thought it was just that. You guys have to remember too. Pre-COVID, people collected, and the price points were different than what they are now. But I always said, if you really wanted this book, just wait a bit. Wait. And now, with Cates leaving, who knows? It's up in the air. I could definitely see this book in maybe mid-summer, maybe even when we get to summer. Let's not forget, right? Like a 9.8, I think, was like $300, maybe plus. Canadian, guys. I'm talking Canadian.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if I can find this book in a 9.8 for $200, which is usually a sweet spot for a really decent book anyway. later on. So for me, if you have it and you didn't pay a crazy amount, I would say hold. But at the same time, if you are looking to buy it, I would probably wait. Like wait a few months, wait 6, 10, even a year, and see where this book comes. Like circle it on what it's selling for right now. Come back to it in a year. I guarantee you it's low.
Yeah. And also, we know that there's a second print for this also that's obviously selling more than the first print. You know, that's to be expected lately with these, second print spikes. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you can find the second
Yeah,
print,
I'm with Pacino, man. I'm with Pacino. Wait, I had one, and then, well, I was given one, and it's a long story, but yeah. Um, I saw a comment here.
For me,
What if we kill it off?
yeah, for me personally, the thing is, I'm not sure how much faith I have in Dylan's future. So there is huge potential there, but like I said again, the next creative team has to want to use him, and it could just be an easier solution to kill him off, which would sort of give Eddie more motivation to be a hero too.
but
Um,
here's the thing though. They've built him up. This was Venom issue 9. We're gonna be at issue what 35, 36. It
mhm,
almost feels like it's like a waste of a build up if they end up killing him because they do kind of need to breed like the next generation of characters, right? That people will get invested in. So I
Yeah,
almost feel like if they do, I mean, I understand it'll definitely cause a lot of like a shock in the storyline because no one would see it coming, but it just seems like I don't think it's in Marvel's best interest to kill off something that they've built up for so long.
yeah,
If the character was done after one story arc, that's different. But the fact that he's stuck around this long, it just seems like there's got to be more of a plan for him in the future.
yeah. I think there is. But where the book was, Faces joined us again. Where the book was, say, 6 months ago, even in the fall, when I was really wanting this book, it was still in that 3, 4, I want to say somewhere around there. I've seen the price dip, and I would probably, like I said, there's a lot of people, and a lot of people will tell you different things. But this was a constant book. I kept hearing a lot of people who do videos and stuff say, buy now, buy now. I was always one saying, no, don't buy now, wait. And you're seeing the dip now. Like you're really seeing dips. So if you really want this book, I say wait, and you will be rewarded.
Yeah, because keep in mind, if this was the only title Marvel is producing, that's different. But the fact that they constantly are churning out new titles every week, this is gonna get, like once the King in Black series. Look, is anyone really talking about Absolute Carnage at this point? Um, like these things happen like after a year or so, and it's almost like behind people's memory. So I have a feeling that the values are going to reflect it in the market. So yeah, like Newbie said, like if you were really wanted this Venom 9, wait a bit, and you could probably
Yeah,
get it at a cheap
100%.
price.
Especially when it's like died down and he leaves, because the hot thing will be like what his next project is and things like that. So yeah, I would say definitely wait. All right, Face, you are up, sir. Next book, Tales to Astonish, number 90.
yeah. So this first appearance of Abomination, an arch rival to the Hulk. Uh, and there's been talk that this character will possibly show up in She-Hulk series.
I think it's actually
Not
confirmed.
Is it confirmed? Yeah, do we
Yeah,
know is Tim Roth resuming
it's
the role, or are they recasting, or
no, it's Tim Roth. He's going to be returning as the
he
Abomination.
is?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I
that's
didn't
pretty
know that
cool.
either.
Yeah, so for me, like, and this is a book that's it's I don't remember what year it came out, but I know it's older, 60s, late 60s. Uh, so it's got to be a buy. I mean, the prices on this are pretty decent, you know, for what is probably one of the Hulk's bigger villains. Um, and obviously they're gonna put him more, uh, more not. I don't want to say it's a more diverse role because She-Hulk is just a different variation of the Hulk, really. But so it makes sense for him to be a villain in that series. But it's not generally the first place that you would see him. You'd see him in just a Hulk series rather than She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, Hyper. Go ahead, Hyper.
No, yeah, you wouldn't exactly expect him. First of all, if anything, I would have expected him to be featured in a movie rather than an actual Disney Plus TV show. But I'm curious because I don't really have much of a knowledge on Abomination, like previously, like in during the Silver Age and all that. How did you find his portrayal in the Universal movie with Edward Norton?
I liked him. I actually liked that movie. I didn't think it was too bad.
Okay.
And I liked Tim Roth as Abomination.
I made a mistake on mine because I'm looking at my notepad and what I have up here. This was supposed to say hold for me for the same reasons. I don't want people being like, wait a minute, you contradict yourself with Captain America. This is a hold for me for the same reasons as the Captain America stuff. The show will come. Obviously, we know it's coming. Everything and anything She-Hulk and all that stuff is going to get hot. This one will get hot. Will it be $1,000 book? I mean, in a CGC maybe. Raw copy, no. But I still think that there might be a little bit of spike left. As the saying is, a little bit of gas left in the tank to go up. Again, what we're seeing right now is any show that comes up, and again, I know I sound like a broken record, but look at WandaVision. Look what that happened. Like, even look what happened with anything Vision and her. Like, it's just getting crazy. So for the same reasons as Captain America, She-Hulk, Loki, and all that, anything related to those properties, I'm holding on to right now. Especially if I got it super cheap. It's just a smart investment.
But I'm just wondering also about the longevity of this character. Like, I don't think he's just going to appear in the She-Hulk series. I think that series is almost going to be there to introduce the character, but I have a feeling that he's going to. I mean, they're going to have to give him some interaction with him and the Mark Ruffalo version of the Hulk. We haven't gotten really that at any point. So, I mean, because really, I don't know. I think there's still some kind of deal where Universal still has exclusive rights to the Hulk as a solo movie. I think he's only allowed to be used in team-based movies, or like he can't be in his own solo movie. I think under the MCU umbrella. I think that's why we hadn't really seen any solo movies. But I would like to see the current Hulk kind of go against the Abomination.
Yeah. Big shout outs to Pressable Defects. Go check them out. They do their new comic book day Wednesday. Hyper, I might butcher the time. I don't know if you know the time. I think it's like 8 p.m. they go. But definitely, if you guys don't know who this channel is or who they are, go check them out. Matt and them do a really good show and really nice dudes. So definitely check them out. Me and Matt actually, I always forget, but like me and Matt actually started at the same time, like our YouTube thing. And like I remember asking him questions about like how to work StreamYard and like all this stuff. And yeah, I remember like going through like the StreamYard stuff with them and being like, yo, like they're asking me to like control my account and things like that. And he was just like laughing at me. He's like, yeah, man, it's normal. So big shout out to
they
one
actually
of the really cool guys in the community, man.
They actually dropped a new comic book day. I know they do their own new comic book day video that they drop in partnership with CBSI. So they dropped a video today to kind of give their Pressable Defects picks. It's definitely a fun watch, but it's definitely, I wouldn't have my kids watching it, in the same put it that way. Especially when the Butcher is featured on the same episode.
Yeah, it's definitely not PG for sure. But you know what? They put out a lot of good content. They're specking Matt, like he does a really good job. If you guys didn't see, like he put his name on like a few books like Marvel Chillers. I think it was one, Avengers 186, things like that. Things that people weren't really necessarily looking or talking about. They did, and then the way our community goes is everybody goes and chases it. So big shout out to them.
what's the rule on the PG rating? You get like one F-bomb, and then you gotta be like an R rating or some shit, or a PG-13.
I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. I just know like when you post or you do anything on YouTube, like they always ask you if it's suitable for kids or something, and then like if you have like say a younger person on, they have to like have their parent on or something. I don't know.
Well,
Isn't that how it is in the movies though? Like
because I
you
think
get like one F-bomb or some shit.
what was that movie to the sequel to Get Shorty?
Get Shorty.
Or is it what to get Shorty?
There's a sequel to Get Shorty that The Rock
Was
and
it
I
Get
remember,
Shorty 2?
no, it was another title, but it was called, I think, Be Cool.
Get Shorter?
No, Be Cool.
Sure.
It's the one with The Rock, and in that movie, John Travolta does drop the fact that apparently to keep your PG-13 rating, you're allowed to have one F-bomb. I don't know
Well,
if that's
fuck.
I don't know if that's still the case or not.
Hey, what's going on? Vancouver Comic Junkie, another one of the great dudes in our community. He drops some content for here and there. It's never scheduled, but he's got a lot of great books. So if you guys haven't, check him out on Instagram and check his YouTube channel out. One of the solid dudes. The one time I stopped by to check out his show, he was pulling out like Giant X-Men 1, ASM 129, like just it was
Damn,
so
kill it.
definitely go check him out. And he's honestly one of the good dudes, nice guy in the community. So check him out.
Yeah, and the chat saying it is Be Cool, the movie.
Yeah, be cool. Be cool. Yeah. All right, I'm up next. Something is killing the children. Whew, man. Probably the hottest title. CGC 9.8 is selling at 370 Canadian and up. That is not taking into consideration how well that foil cover did. That came out I think October or something like that. Even that in a 9.8 is getting some heat. But yeah, I'm torn with this. I feel like I'm torn with the idea of this book from time to time. Depending on the day, my thought process changes where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy this book. And then like a few days later, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna wait. Then I'm like, sell. You know, like it just goes up and down for me as of right now. And when I made this presentation on Friday, I was in the hold and sell. I don't think it's a good time to buy it.
No, that's the thing. I mean, look, as a read, it's probably one of my most favorite indie reads. Actually, you know, scratch that. Favorite reads, indie or Marvel. But the thing is, I can't say, like, even though I feel the book still has an upside, I don't know if now is the best time to buy it, just because it's hard for me to really tell someone to buy a modern book at those prices that you just gave right now. I would definitely hold it though. Yeah, I would definitely hold it if you have it. I feel like there's still a lot more of an upside to it, and we know that the show is taking a break. Not the show, sorry. The series is taking a break after issue 15 and coming back in May. And if you guys actually saw the cover for issue 16, it pretty much plays homage to the covers, like to the cover A and B of issue 1. It has the same
going back and telling the origin story.
Yeah. So clearly they're not done with the series and they have more plans for it. And look, just from a reader's point of view, if you aren't on the series, I would say grab the trade paperbacks, because if you're trying to find these issues individually,
good luck with those too.
Yeah, especially from even the late printings are catching heat. So even like anything prior to issue 9 or 8, you're looking at paying like $80 and up for some of these issues.
See, that's the thing though. Like, it was, issues up to issues like 8 and 9 like 2 weeks ago, but even that keeps getting bigger and bigger. I mean, like you're seeing, even the newer issues are still catching ridiculous prices on like some of the exclusives and everything like that. So I understand what you guys are saying on the whole thing, and obviously if you have it, it's definitely a hold. But I do feel if you don't have it, this probably is the best time to buy it, because I really don't think you're gonna see lower prices in the future.
Yeah, it's tough because the thing is, like with indie books, I have a hard time kind of making that prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, like this looks, and I know the print run on this is a lot higher, but you're seeing a lot more widespread demand for this too, than The Walking Dead. So to make that comparison is usually not fair, but just
No.
because there does seem to be an even greater, more immediate demand for this, just because we know that like The Walking Dead broke the seal with it, like it was the first, it was the one that got optioned, and they made a TV show and everything like that.
So sorry, Face. No, it's just Uni was trying to kind of let me know that Turtles were an indie book as well. Okay, fine, that's true. Okay,
right, he has a point.
he does have a point.
Face, your vote is to buy/hold. Mine is to hold. Hyper, you are hold as well.
I'm saying hold as well.
Yeah. I think it's just a bad time to buy, especially where the price is for it. I totally get Face's argument and where he's coming from, where it's probably not going to go lower. But when I look at the money that thing costs, it almost makes me want to say maybe I'll go for something a little more secure if I'm looking at it from an investment standpoint. I get what everybody's saying. Yeah, once a show comes or something is announced, yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. They double, they triple, things like that. I don't know. I'm interested to see, and I know this is a long time, but I'm interested to see where this book is in 5 years. Because in 5 years, I'm sure we're going to get the show. I'm sure we're going to get, obviously, the aftermath. If there's anything else, all that stuff that comes with the aftermath, the up, the down, and then where it goes back up. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I think it's already been 2 years, because I think this was actually released in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I remember when raw copies were like $40, man.
Yeah, it's funny how at the prices that you saw back then you thought were too high, and then they almost seem like a steal at this point.
That's what's going to happen here down the road too, and that's why you should be getting it now.
Yeah. Next book on the list is Hyper's, but I will say this. I am with Hyper if he is on the keep side for this. I passed up an opportunity to pick up a 9.6 graded of this book last week for $650 Canadian. I took a few days extra because I was like, I don't know. I took a few days, and guess what? It sold. I go on eBay, and they're literally like ridiculously priced, almost to the point of like, okay, I'm only a few dollars short from getting an ASM 129, which is ridiculous to me. But I think this is going to be one of those very classic characters down the road. I think this will always hold some value, if I'm being honest. We have, obviously, the first appearance of Deadpool. I mean, obviously, if you don't know what this book is, I don't know what to say. But yeah, obviously, one of the hottest moderns, one of the hottest characters. The one thing is, it runs into that category of print run. Big print run. We all know Deadpool is coming again. My personal beliefs is we're going to see X-Force more so than him being in X-Men. I know everybody wants to see him in X-Men. I just think it's going to be short-lived. They're going to do things with him. But, I just think there's still a spike for him in this book. But it's, I don't know, man.
See, the thing is, okay, so you're saying keep then, right? I guess.
I'm saying keep if you have it, just because it's going to be a while before he even shows up again. So you could see another spike in the book. You know what I mean?
See,
300 status as the next one. Yeah.
So absolutely. Okay, so the thing is, I was of the opinion that that the high print run would kind of hurt the value, but it's almost like sales of ASM 300 and also even ASM 361 recently.
Sorry, Hyper. Sorry. Before the comments keep coming in hot, but I just thought this was funny. I put it up. This comment comes in, and then he goes, hold. So I don't know if he's saying sell or hold.
Or maybe saying
buy. So like I don't know. He's saying all three, man. So I don't know.
It's always is your kids playing with your keyboard right now? Yeah, no, but
If you've never seen this book before, then the door is right over there. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
here's the thing with like I would have thought that this high print run would have actually not killed it, but almost like you know put a ceiling on where this book can go. But like you've seen sales of ASM 300 and recently 361 kind of hit 4-digit numbers for like a 9.8, right? So it seems like the argument about high print rent doesn't seem to hold as much water as it used to in the past. And and you mentioned it, right? Kevin Feige did confirm that Deadpool will be coming into the MCU and it will be an R-rated, he will have an R-rated movie. Um, so for that reason, I know for the longest time
I
this
mean,
book,
it's R-rated, but it's Disney, so that means it gets 2 F-bombs.
Yeah.
no,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are
but
we gonna say exactly?
no, I think I think like Feige and like he's generally has his ear to to what fans want, and I have a feeling that he kind of knows what Deadpool fans are going to be wanting from his movies, right? I don't think it's going to be a watered down version. If he says it's going to be a R rating, I think they're
Hopefully, it's not. The
no, I'm
only, the only concern is just Disney possibly restricting them, but
yeah, but you know what? At the same
let's
time,
just hope they'll keep the hands off and let Marvel do their thing.
yeah, and I think also if the box office numbers that Deadpool did with Fox, I think that almost kind of gives it more of an argument to keep it the way it is right
Right.
now rather than changing
Right.
it because I think I don't know if this has changed since then, but wasn't it like the highest grossing R-rated movie for a while when it was released?
Yeah, I can't remember if Logan came out first or Deadpool, but I think it was like back to back. Like both of them just kind of topped each other, I think.
Yeah. So and just the fact that he's going to be interacting with the other characters in the MCU at some point, I just feel that like I know that this book always has its ebbs and flows. It kind of always seems to have its ups and downs, but I feel that once he's fully integrated into the MCU, I think his book will kind of hit another plateau.
Yeah.
So I would say if you have it, keep it. If you plan on buying it, wait a few months or weeks because with these MCU news, the way it works is Kevin Feige will say something, people will get the FOMO, they'll buy the books, and then after a few months, those prices will drop back again. So I would say if you're hesitant on getting this book, get it before
Okay.
he really starts getting into the Marvel
Yeah,
universe.
I think too. The issue with this one was I think we all and I mean we have the technology to see the sales and what they were selling for. But let's be real. A month ago, before that, the news was confirmed about a Deadpool 3. You could buy this book in the $400 to $600 range, graded 9.6, right? Then that came out, and now people are selling it in that $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 range. And I get it, right? If you have the product, supply and demand, you have it, you want to get the top dollar. I totally understand that. But if you're trying to buy the book and all you're getting from the seller is, well, it's a movie's coming. Well, yeah, but it's in cycles, right? Like they could confirm it now, but guys, let's be real. I mean, we're still waiting for Black Widow. You know what I mean? Like by the time Deadpool comes, it's going to be a bit. So that's why my reasoning for this is just like Hyper saying, if you're looking for it, I think there's going to be another dip. So I would wait. But I also do think that this is going to be one of those books because of how iconic he has become with his joking, with his R-rated, and just the humor, the dark humor that he brought. I think this one in the future will be one of those books you definitely have to have in your collection.
See, this book's one of those ones where I kind of think it just depends on your situation in life. Like, because I mean, like obviously, if you've got a bunch of them, they're starting to talk about the third movie and everything like that. So now's the time that you start thinking about getting ready to sell them and everything like that. Whenever you start seeing,
Yeah.
more movement on that movie and everything, probably would be a little bit better time. Because you'll probably see, a bit higher prices. If you've got a copy, of it, and it's your only one, I think you should hold it because this is kind of one of those books that's getting to like Grail status.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have it, yeah, I would say it's probably a buy because I don't think you're gonna. You might see small dips in it, in the future, but I don't think you're gonna see anything significant enough to.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those books that's kind of gradually grow in value over time.
Yeah. I think
Even if
yeah,
there's no movies or anything, it'll just
yeah.
slowly still grow.
And I will say this: if anybody is selling a 9.6, and you want to sell it, and you want to be nice and give me a good price, I will definitely send you an 8x10 black and white photo of me. I'll even send you a T-shirt with Hyper face keys and my face on it.
It's funny because we never actually took a photo together, so I'm curious how he's gonna pull this off.
you know,
I ain't got no face, so
this is definitely one of those books I was looking for. But yeah, once the news broke, I mean, I'm not paying $1,100 for this right now. Like I said, for that price point, you're looking at almost just add another 100, 200, buy an ASM 129. You're looking at Hulk 180. You're looking at a lot of other investments, especially if it's just an investment. You're looking at a lot of investments you could buy in very low compared to this one. So,
And the thing is also just regarding the print run argument, keep in mind that as the years passes by, there's going to be more and more collectors that are going to, once they grab that book, they're going to just stash it in their collection, and those are going to disappear from the market. So you have to also keep that in mind, right? Those copies are going to be floating around are going to get lower and lower.
Hold out for that Wonder Woman apron photo.
Right, for sure.
We'll get that slabbed CGC 9.8 with a remark.
All right, so before we move on, I am at a keep. Hold and keep. Hyper, you are?
For the moment, I'll say keep. Yeah.
And Face, you are?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would definitely keep the book. But again, I do think a lot of it has to do with your situation in life.
Yeah. All right, Face, you're up, sir. Your next book is Undiscovered Country #1.
Yes, yeah, I like this book. It's a Scott Snyder series that it kind of had a lot of hype behind it and everything when it first came out, but that's kind of died off since then. About what I think 11, 12, 13 issues in, something like that. It is one of those properties though that it does have potential to see some development as a series or a movie or something like that in the future. I would actually prefer to see this as like a series than a movie, to be honest. But it's a really solid, indie series regardless, and I think that there's definitely potential to hold it there and see some improvement in the future, even if there isn't like anything option from it. I still think it'll be able to garner interest as the longevity of the series goes on.
So big shout out before we continue to Jay Blitz Comics. If you guys don't know, this guy has a crazy amount of comics, and he's always doing auctions, claim sales, everything like that. I always say this, but I just think it's true to our community, because I'm always finding that I'm always saying, hey, one of the nicest dudes in the community. Genuinely, our community has a lot of nice people in it, but yeah.
I want you to one day highlight someone and say this is one of the assholes of our community.
No, I wouldn't do that, man. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, Face, when I was doing some research on this book,
yeah, highlight me.
It was coming at $612. For me, it's a buy, especially if you can get in on it super low. $6 Canadian, guys. That's a steal right now. It's low risk, high reward sort of thing. So yeah, for me, I would probably buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still hovering in that cover price range. So why? Yeah, I would say if you're on the fence on it, just buy it. I mean, I'm collecting the series, but I'll be honest, I'm kind of behind on my reading on this, and I know that this, like as Face mentioned, it garnered a lot of buzz initially because Face, has it been confirmed that there is a TV show coming for this, or is it just option news at this point?
I don't think so. I think it's just option news.
Okay, yeah, I know that kind of created a bit of a buzz, and people were aware of it before FOC for issue 1, so that kind of increased the order count on that issue. But yeah, I would say, I mean, from what I'm hearing, people are saying that the story itself is good, but yeah, it's just one of the things, those series that's going under everyone's radar. But I would say buy it right now if you can. If you're ever thinking of getting into it.
Yeah. Ancient Mariner is saying, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Something is killing the children. Number one is a $2,000 book and a 9.8 by the end of next year. Mark my words. Hey,
That's pretty
I
bold. Pretty bold.
I can believe it though.
This one is a solid buy. Hey, what's up? Copy 801. What's going on, man? Low buy-in on a good comic buy. Yes, but man, you can't go wrong with $6 to $12, man. It's crazy. It's a whole. The entire series for me is a great read, and I'll have all the first prints signed by. Ooh, nice. Face, isn't issue number 12 coming out tomorrow?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the end of the second story arc.
Yeah. All right. This is shocking. Why? Because it's newbie comics talking DC. It doesn't happen too often.
Okay.
But this is Batman 655 and 656. Note the notations. Everyone in the community has different ways, but 655, the red cover right there. We got the cameo of Damian Wayne, noted as the first full app. So, yeah, I think that's the language that needs to be cleared up in our community. 656, we have the first full appearance of him, and we also have the first appearance of Jezebel Jet. I know Keys bought this book super cheap. His buy-in was super low. I think he picked it up for $30. Yeah, so it's I don't know. I think they're still cheap. You can get like 9.8s for like $200, I think it is, like Canadian. That's not crazy, especially everything that's going on from what I'm hearing, because I don't read it. From what I'm hearing in the DC stuff, like Damian Wayne could be something huge. I know in the latter part of the summer near the end, everybody was saying, oh, Batman Beyond or him. I think he's got legs. I think there's something here later on. Again, another buy low or get in now, low risk, high reward sort of thing. But definitely a book I would get. Me personally, I like the 655 cover over the 656. That's just me. Don't forget, there's also Batman 666, which is the first appearance of Damian Wayne as Batman. That one gets some love too, but where I would start is probably Batman 655. Both of these for me are keep or buy because they're fairly cheap, fairly affordable. You can get them, and again, this is the perfect time to get them. If something hits with this, you're looking at double, especially when you can get a 9.6, 9.8 for like $200. That's a pretty good price for a 9.8.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Joshua Williamson is going to be doing an ongoing Robin series that's going to be coming out in March, which will have Damian Wayne as, assuming that role. So if you're ever on the fence about buying this, I would say probably now is the best time to buy it, because we know how Joshua Williamson, was the longest running, not longest, but he was like a long running writer for the Flash series that I think when Rebirth started, that he probably, I think he had the longest tenure of all the writers, because I know that they switched writers for Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other mainline series, and he's been on it for the longest time with Flash. So I'm pretty sure he has plans for Damian Wayne with Robin. So I would grab it now.
Too many damn keys. Sam is saying, and Sam's Canadian. So 655 is selling on eBay right now. CGC 9.6 for $175 plus shipping. That's pretty good. That would be dope if Damian was Red X. Who knows? This comment is fucking hilarious to me. This is a sell for me. One, because DC is you fill in the stars. Two, DC has changed Batman way too many times recently. So many times I am lost. Who the hell is Batman? Oh wait, I forgot. I'm Batman. So yeah, it's true. But I'm always saying, like if you can get a 9.8 in a really good character, like I would assume, it's not a top tier character, but it's one of those characters that, you know what, it could have some legs. If I can get in a 9.6, 9.8 at 200 or under 200, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
That's a good price point for that at that grade. I would never pay, like $200 for like a 9.0 or 9.2 in this book. That's just ridiculous. But
no. I mean, yeah, especially it's a modern book. I would say go for the top tier grades in this case. And
9.6 at 175, like Sam was saying, that's pretty good.
yeah, honestly though, I'm always of the opinion that if you can find this raw and you're good at like eyeballing books to see, what grade it could possibly be, I think a raw book, I think UniX mentioned like you could pick this up for like 30, $40.
He's picked one up for $30.
Canadian, but yeah, so in US I guess that's like $20. But
they're out there. They're definitely out there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think this should be a tough book to find, especially in a near mint condition.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Well, see, the thing with Damien is that he's a part of the Bat family in like the deepest way. So the only way to really get rid of him, as a part of the Bat family is to kill him off. And I mean, they've done that, but they brought him back, and now he has a big enough fan base that he's probably gonna stick around. So
yeah,
it's and just being who he is, eventually they would probably address him in. I don't necessarily know that they'll address him in like a live action or anything like that anytime soon. But at least in like animated series and stuff like that, you'll see him start popping up and everything. So it's probably a buy. I mean, there's a future for Damien.
Yeah, just the fact that they're putting one of their top writers in DC to do his
right.
character, it just kind of tells me, okay, they have plans for him. It's the same way like they're putting Tom Taylor to do Nightwing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a buy for all three of us. Hyper, you're up next with Silver Surfer number 3. This one got a lot of traction, obviously, with the show. This blew up. I will remind people, and I won't name the person. I'm not bringing shade to them if they're watching or anything like that. But sometimes, when you bring some comments, it's kind of like, no. But somebody tried to tell me that this book was like, it went super high once the show started, because they try to tell me that they could find like a very high grade. I can't remember. I'd have to go look at my messages, for very cheap. No, this book was always relatively in that 4 to 5, 6 even, depending on the grade. With the show coming and all the hype around it, it's gone up even more. But yeah, this one has been a book of popular topic for the past 2-3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the WandaVision series, a lot of people speculating that Mephisto is lurking in that show in some facet. Yeah, I mean, we knew that Marvel did mention that they want to go more into that horror realm in the MCU, starting with the Doctor Strange. I forgot the full title of his new movie. Something Tales of the Multiverse.
Multiverse. Into the multiverse. No, Into the Multiverse.
Something
Multiverse Madness.
Or yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
about.
Exactly.
Multiverse Madness. We know that's going to be more of a horror based, one of the first horror based movies in the MCU, and so you got to figure that they're probably going to be going into the underworld of the Marvel universe, and the guy that's ruling it all is Mephisto. I mean, this is not the first time we would see Mephisto on the big screen. We saw him in, that critically acclaimed Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Do we even count that though?
Say that again?
Do we even count that though?
No, I mean, thankfully, I don't think that's part of the MCU canon. I think that's almost supposed to be out of sight, out of mind. Right. But I just feel that just like how Marvel went to the cosmic universe and they pulled the Guardians of the Galaxy out of obscurity and made them into household names, I think going into the underworld and taking those characters and then bringing them into the limelight, I just feel that Mephisto is gonna have almost like that same power level of, like, let's say, Galactus or Dormammu. He just seems to have that kind of, that presence about him. So I feel that, I know that Newbie put sell. My opinion, I would actually buy this book if you can. Not right now. I would say wait a bit until the WandaVision show kind of, is wrapped up and people are not really talking about it as much.
Yeah.
Because right
Just
now,
to bring light on numbers, though, I don't know if you're seeing this, but 9.8 sold for 38,000.
yeah, that's insane. And the thing is, you're right though. This book is not exactly the best candidate to get a high grade in, just because it's a square bound book in the back in the Silver Age time. So getting a good grade on these books is very hard. You are probably going to have to settle for like a mid grade or low grade book if you want this in your collection.
Yeah, definitely.
But I would, if you're, I just feel like he is going to appear in the MCU one way or the other. So before Kevin Feige actually confirms Mephisto is going to come, I would say, grab it, because I'm sure that this book still has another ceiling it can hit.
Yeah, for sure. Face, where are you on this book?
Well, so first of all, in regards to T-Bone, I can neither confirm nor deny that at all.
You're red X.
But about this book, man, it's kind of one of those ones like New Mutants 98. It just depends on your situation. If you don't have it and you can afford to get it, and you can find a copy, obviously it's definitely a pickup. If you're somehow sitting on, a couple stacks of them and you're ready to offload some, yeah, this is probably a great time to sell, because people are on the look for it, with everything that's going on with Mephisto. But if you've only got one, it's Mephisto. It's first appearance of Mephisto. It's a $38,000 book in 9.8, and I would think you would definitely want to hold on to it. So.
It's been a hot book for a long time though. Even prior to the show, like it was still up there in price, because when you thought of Silver Surfer, you always thought you grab 1, 3, and I think it's 4 or 5. I can't remember the one with him and Thor. As on the cover and all that, but those were always just the 3 books you always wanted in that Silver Surfer run. So that's why, yeah, like I said, like I'm not bringing shade to anybody, but like I had messages of somebody being like, "No, Newbie, I almost had a chance to buy this super cheap at super high." I go, "No, man, like this has always been a super expensive book. It's just spiked a lot because of the rumors and that stuff from WandaVision." So
yeah.
All right. Mr. FaceTime, you are up with your next book, sir.
All right, so Avengers Unplugged #5. This is the first appearance of Photon, Monica Rambeau's mother. Like Newbie's mentions here on the slide that she was last seen in the Captain Marvel movie. And this is like, I think this is the second iteration of Monica Rambeau. First she was Captain Marvel, and then she was Photon, and later became Spectrum.
Right.
This is a tough one, because it seems like I don't think Marvel's really going to touch on the Captain Marvel aspect of Monica Rambeau. But then again, watching that last episode of WandaVision, and just seeing how they had her react when Captain Marvel was mentioned, there might be something there. So it almost makes me wonder if they're not going to touch on the Photon iteration of Monica Rambeau in the future at some point. So it's one of those books. It's not ridiculously expensive or anything like that. So I would probably grab it, because I think it's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
And raw copies are going for $80 Canadian near mint.
That's insane that it's going for that much, honestly.
Yeah, especially with all this news of the show. I mean, you would think.
But and those prices, it's actually kind of been around those prices for a while.
Really? But it wasn't. Okay,
Wow, I didn't know that.
'Cause
$80.
I had it like when I got it like I want to say I picked this up like 6 months ago, and it was probably around that price.
Because the thing is, wasn't that seemed like the price point of that Spider-Man annual that actually featured the first Monica Rambeau? I felt that was around the $80 range
I
before.
actually got that cheaper.
Yeah, well, obviously this is before Kevin Feige's investor call happened.
See, one of the other things about this one though is I think it tends to be a little bit harder to find too.
Yes, it is. It's funny because of the three iterations of Rambo, I do have the Spider-Man annual, and I do have the other one. What was the other one? Mighty Avengers #1.
Yeah.
This is the only one that I'm missing.
Yeah, it took me it took us a while to find it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm sure there's copies out there. It's just that I should probably reiterate, it's copies that I'm willing to pay at the
Right.
right price. That's, I mean, obviously you could find any copy of any book, but it's just what price are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think this one's definitely got room to grow if they bring Photon into the MCU. So
And that's the thing, because it's so dicey, is because she has three different personas. You don't know which one they're gonna go with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we'll learn more
it,
in the next. I mean, the show is at basically the halfway point already, so we'll probably get more answers than questions. But it's Marvel, so we'll probably still get those questions.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, for sure. So wait, what's our opinion on that one?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. For me, it's a sell. Just because of the fact that like we're already at the point of the show, all the hints have been made, things like that. So for me, I just don't think it will get any crazier. So I think if you have it, maybe sell it now and then buy it super low later on.
That's, yeah, based on the values that you just kind of put up, I would say I'm kind of with you on this. Sell now and then pick it up on the low when it, when it hits that dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I agree. We're talking about there's activity going on with it that's directly related to it. So it's going kind of a high right now.
Rider
As
Dice
much as
saying,
I would love to pick up,
oh, sorry, Face, go ahead.
yeah, as much as I would love to pick it up, another copy or two, just for my own collection, it's probably a sell right now because it is on that spike.
Yeah. Rider Dice saying maybe all three personas in the multiverse.
Bro, it's read or die.
Or Reader Dice. What did I say?
You said ride or die.
Oh, sorry.
This guy's thinking like fast.
Like, wait, what? I can read, guys. No, I got a college and university diploma. So
You don't have to.
next up is my pick right here. It is Fantastic Four, issue number 67. It is the first appearance of him. I wrote Adam Warlock. I just don't believe in it. I think Thor 165 is the key book to have. The cover, I mean, if you guys want, we can talk about it. I never say to people, "Hey, let's argue" or anything like that. I'm not confrontational at all. But like, this is one of the ugliest covers, and I love the Fantastic Run. I love all the covers and things like that. This one spiked obviously after Guardians of the Galaxy, where you see the cocoon and all that. For me, though, it is definitely a Thor 165. Thor 165 over this one. Don't even get me started with Fantastic Four 66. It's like, I forget who said it in the chat, but like, the door is right there kind of thing. I just won't entertain that at all. Is a Fantastic Four 66 and 67 really good to have in your collection? Absolutely. I just think when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be Thor 165 that you want. Like I said, it's an ugly cover. I love the white covers, but it's still ugly to me. There's two printings. So if you guys are new to the community, or you're starting to, pick up and you're starting to collect, and you see people talking about this book, just make sure there's two printings. Raw copies go between $45 and $140, depending on the condition. And the last CGC sold was a 6.0 for $255 Canadian. For me, this book is a sell slash hold, in the sense that if you have a high grade, I would hold on to it, just because you might be able to secure some a little bit of a spike when Adam Warlock does come. Obviously, I just mentioned Thor 165. I think that is the big winner in all three of those books. This one will have a spike, though. I think this one will fall into that category of people who can't afford a very high graded Thor 165. If you have a few copies and you got them super low, I mean, that's where the whole, hold is. I don't necessarily think I would be buying this book, though. It's like a sell hold for me. Like, if you have it, you want to kind of risk it, great. I just wouldn't be buying it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably a bad time to buy, just because there has been so much talk about Adam Warlock and his potential of coming into the MCU and everything like that. So people have been on the lookout for any of these books surrounding Adam Warlock, to be honest. Yeah, definitely not the right time to buy, for sure. You could probably sell higher whenever something actually does happen to him. So for right now, I think the best option is just hold.
Yeah.
I respect the historical significance of this book, but just like Newbie, I'm not really pleased with it aesthetically. It's just, I know a lot of people want this in their collection. This is just one of those things that never really piqued my interest. Again, much respect to what the book means, but the cover kind of not doesn't do it for me. Just the giant cartoon over the it's personally, I probably, unless obviously if I find it at a steal, that's a different story. But yeah, it's not something that's on my radar.
Yeah. And when you look at Thor 165, again, man, you look at the prices and what they're going for, just the overall better cover. It's black. You have him on the cover. You've got Thor there. There's just so much more going on. This one, you guys have heard me say, I love white and black covers. Throw in red there as well. But this is just kind of one of those, it's just ugly. It's always been ugly to me. But yeah, I'm on that, if hold it if you got it super cheap, but I'd also be looking at selling. I probably wouldn't be buying this one. So
yeah.
Next up, Hyper. I believe this is your book, correct?
Yes. ASM 101, first appearance of Morbius. We know that the movie's coming out. We saw the trailer, and despite how you guys saw Jared Leto in his role as the Joker in the Suicide Squad movies, I think he's actually gonna kill it in this role. I think actually the fact that he probably got those negative feedbacks from the Joker movie, I think that's gonna motivate him to actually do a better job in. And the thing is, it's not even his. I'm not gonna say it's his fault. I think it's also the direction of how that movie was also. So I'm not gonna put the blame on Leto on that one, but I think Sony will do right by this movie, and I think Leto will kill it. I think he'll actually bring more popularity to this character. So I feel that, in my opinion, now is the best time to buy it, because you're not hearing much talks of Morbius right now, because with the whole pandemic and everything being shifted over, I just feel that this is one of those cases where it's like out of sight, out of mind for the time being. So probably get it now before before another trailer drops, and then
it's also been delayed too, right? Like, we just posted that information I think a week ago or two. It's delayed again, so that also goes into some people, some sellers who are just frustrated with it, who are looking just to flip it, are probably like, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind too. Keep all your avenues when you're looking for a book open. Don't just necessarily go on eBay or Feebay, as I like to call it. Make sure if you're looking for this book, you might luck out, because there's going to be someone who's frustrated of just bought it for the reasons of just holding it, and the movie keeps getting delayed and delayed, so you might luck out.
And the thing is, like one of your points mentions, this movie's already done. It's in the can, so you don't have to worry about production delays or actor disputes. Like, the movie's done, it's all wrapped up, so it's just a matter of when it's going to be released in theaters. So for that reason, I think you don't I don't think you're gonna have to wait very long for this movie to drop. But I think your window is kind of narrowing in terms of when this book could be affordable. And obviously, everyone has a different point where a book is affordable. But the price point, I mean, for this
The prices have gone down on this one too.
It
From
has.
like 6 to 8 months ago, it's definitely gone down. Even from a year, it's really gone down.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you're ever into this character and you were ever thinking of buying this book, I would say use this downtime to kind of look for those deals and get this book.
Yeah. Face, where are you on this book, brother?
Yeah, man, actually, Jay Blitz pretty much explains it right there. If you can find this book at a decent price, I think it's a pickup because it's an early Spider-Man key, and those usually hold value. They don't really come down at all. Minor dips, but nothing nothing significant. Uh, and it's a classic character.
Yeah.
It's just the only detractor from it is like I guess if the movie would suck. I kind of agree with Hyper. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Jared Leto's, I think this is a role that's pretty suited for him. So
yeah, and I think he was kind of in, like Marvel probably approached it like, hey, we know you got fucked over in DC, okay? Like I know you're mad, so why don't we go do this? And from what the trailers have been, it looks like a really good product. But again, when you're looking at just strictly what it is, what this book is, it's like Jay Blitz says, it is an ASM key. It's got avenues in the sense of it can open up a lot of characters that come with it. You got your Daredevil, you got your Punisher. If you followed the Spider-Man cartoon, which a lot of us did in the early 90s, just think of all the characters that were around that character. Flash Thompson, Felicia, the Spider-Man, there's a lot of things that they could do with it. So for that point, this is probably the best time to sell, to hold, or to buy rather. Again, this was done a little early, guys. So some of the numbers, some of the dates, but yeah, I mean, it is a really good time to buy. I put mostly sell there just because of the fact of like, I know a few people who have bought this book just for the sole purpose of an investment. And again, they've come into that reality and that notion that it's like, hey, the movie's delayed again, so they're just kind of like getting frustrated. So I see them selling it and things like that. So yeah.
And also, contrary to your previous slide, I actually like this cover a lot.
Yeah, this one's dope. Yeah, really dope. Sam is saying, I was looking on eBay. The Amazing Spider-Man 101 is selling for $318 Canadian. Low grade though.
That seems decent for a book from that age.
What's up, Doc J? Thanks for joining us, brother. Hyper FaceTime, guys, and don't forget, Face at the end of the show does have an announcement to make. If you guys are just joining or weren't with us at the beginning, this isn't going to be a 3-hour thing. I think we're coming down to our last bit of books. But we also talked about the fact that we're going to be on Journo's channel, Journo and Comics, on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So things like that will be promoted, and you guys will be seeing that. So check us out. So moving on. That's it. That's the end of the slide. Oh shoot. Okay.
Wow.
That was very anticlimactic the way you ended it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Right. That was incredible timing.
I should have. Damn. Okay.
Should have checked first, huh?
Well, here's the thing. So Hyper was supposed to send me 2 more books, but
we're gonna blame it on Hyper.
Wait, hold on.
Let's do this.
Time out. I sent you 2 books. I DM'd you, but I guess you probably
you messaged me at like 9 o'clock or 8:30. I was already leaving. No, I got home when I got your message. So, you know what, guys? Because of that, if you guys have any books, let's hear it. If you guys have any books you guys want us to talk about, and you guys want to guess our opinion or the chat's opinion, let's hear it. Don't all rush and say a book all at once, but let's see. So,
I got one.
For sure.
Pacino's saying, what do you guys think about Uncanny 49, First Polaris? There was a vote about the character should be reintroduced in comics, and she's leading the poll.
Yeah, I would probably grab it if you could, because Polaris is a dope character, and she's probably got a future.
And I think she was actually brought up in your X-Men spec show that you guys did with Journo, right?
Yeah.
I know that he was high on that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. ASM 361. Yeah, we were actually talking about this one earlier.
This one, and I'll try to hold the comments as much as I can here to get people who are suggesting a book. Here's the thing with this, guys. This one is a little tough because I think a lot of people see ASM 300 and they're like, hey, you know what? We can get on that. I have this book. It's like literally, it's right there on my slab shelf there. Like I have this book in a 9.6, but I'm telling you right now, that book is definitely a hold until we get an image or a first trailer of Carnage, and then the internet will go crazy. And that's where you want to sell it. A 9.8 I think is like $900, somewhere around there, maybe $1,000. I don't know if it's
it's
9.8 have broken 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah. I don't know. Me personally though, I do think, and guys, I don't work for Marvel. I don't work for Sony. None of that. But I will say, I don't think this is a book that's going to have that ASM 300 plateau. Or get crazy, man. I think I think it's a one and done, and it doesn't. I totally get it. Woody Harrelson will do a great job. I have no doubt in my mind he will. He's a great actor. He looked kind of crazy already in the last time we saw him at the end of the first Venom. But I just think it's a one and done. It's almost done. Definitely wait until we see an image and then sell. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean. I was surprised when a 9.8 of this was selling for over $1,000 or even 1,200 at some point. And this wasn't even a newsstand. This was a direct edition. I'm with you on this one. I think that once the movie passes, it's gonna dip. But the thing is, Carnage is never gonna go away. I mean, at least in the comics, he's always gonna be around. He's always been a popular character in the Spider verse, the Spider universe, whatever. Spider-Verse. I'm not sure what the hell to call it. But yeah, I feel that the pinnacle of this book will probably be reached when that trailer and when the movie drops.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna see it drop again.
Yeah. X-Men 96. I can't remember what that first appearance is, so you guys might have to tell me. I don't know. Vancouver Comic Junkie saying that book is so undervalued. So I'm assuming it's for X-Men 96.
Okay, hold on. I know X-Men 94 is the first. Is this X-Men 94? I know, but X-Men 94. I have to see the cover actually. I'm actually drawing a blank face. Do you have an idea? Let me look this up.
Right off the top of my head, I'm actually not sure.
What about X-Men 49? Isn't that the first Saroon?
Oh, sorry. X-Men 96 is the first Moira McTaggart.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Doc
yeah.
James was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I would say that's a definite pickup because we know that there is a series coming for Moira, and we especially if you guys have read the House of X Powers of X series, we know that there is plans for Moira in the future. She just hasn't been featured as much, at all. Period. In the current X titles that Hickman's doing, but we know that she will be coming in. So I would say now is probably the best time to grab that book if you're into it.
X-Men 49.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably it's one that's probably under the radar for a lot of people. So if you can find a decent deal on it, I'd pick it up.
I'm trying to get everybody's opinion because we're just trying to answer it real quick, guys. So Just bear with me. So Spider-Verse Hyper 2021. Eric is saying giant size chillers #1, Dracula Lilith. I'm a fan long term. Hyper, I mean, this is all you here.
Why is it all me?
Well, you're a big Dracula and Blade and all that.
Oh, just because I got too much. Yeah, I
You got a Tomb of Dracula, so you love Dracula.
no, but you know what? I think getting these horror characters in general is not a bad play right now because obviously we don't know which characters will hit in the MCU, but I just find that a lot of these characters are very much undervalued, like Lilith and Dracula, and even some of the Ghost Riders that people don't really talk about. Like we know people talk about Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze as the two popular ones, but then you have Alejandra Jones. That's her last name, right, Face?
Yeah.
Jones, and then
Yep.
Robbie Reyes. So I feel like there's a lot of room to grow with in terms of the horror universe of the MCU. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Lilith's a character that they'll probably use at some point. So it seems like she would be a good series appearance or something.
Department of Truth, the Lee Harvey Oswalt variant. I think Face has talked about this one a lot. Like that's a keep for sure.
That one actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find it to buy at a decent price, go ahead and grab it.
I was lucky enough to grab that on day one from my store. I paid $15 for it, and I saw a 9.8 sell for like $250 to $300.
Yeah, they're going crazy for this.
Okay, so Darth Lopez is saying you dudes into Star Wars. That's a conversation for another day. Face is
some of us.
Yeah, some of us. I just watched Phantom Menace, my first Star Wars movie ever, like 2 weeks ago. So that probably tells you everything you need to know. Hidden Insane.
In fairness, Newbie doesn't take direction well. We did tell him to watch A New Hope first.
Yes, so don't blame us.
Yeah, no. Hidden Insane. Who's the one rubbing their keyboard with their mic?
What now?
I don't know. Not me.
What are you doing?
Okay. So, yeah, guys, we'll just get into it because this is our third show this week. We don't really like to get on that much. We love talking comics and we love the community, so don't take that the wrong way. But there was a show that we did on Sunday. If you haven't heard, we kind of broke the God of Light news. Some people liked the news, some people didn't. I can't control that. I just we put the information out there. So, it is what it is. Myself, Hyper and Key Issues will be on Journo's Comics on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. He wanted to talk about the situation that happened. It is what it is. Face won't be there. So Face wanted to take the time to actually address and say some of his point just because of the fact he won't be there on Friday. So yeah, if you guys want to stick around for that, that's going to be happening right now.
Yeah, so like Newbie said, I just won't be able to make the show on Friday because I'll be working. So I just wanted to take a minute and just, I guess, say my piece, put my feelings or whatever out there. So we released the news about the God of Light and everything, and obviously there was an incident with the Key Collector app and the notation that they had made, and I just felt like, since I won't be able to make the show on Friday, I wanted to take the opportunity to clarify that the issue for me personally, at least on our end, was just that whenever the notation was put up there, it felt like it was kind of something that it felt a little bit discrediting towards us, and that was the issue that I personally took with it. And after everything happened and everything like that, there was communication between myself and Nick from Key Collector, and he did adjust the notation there because we agreed that the wording could be a little better. So it did get fixed, and that's that's basically just the outcome that we were looking for, is just to get that fixed. And so cool, it worked out.
And
And
the thing is, Face, I think they also have to keep in mind that, like you said, the notation that they're seeing right now wasn't the notation that was there from the beginning. I think there was like
right,
there was like what, 3 or 4 different iterations of that notation before it
there was a
finally,
couple,
yeah.
but it got right in the end, and so it all worked out and everything like that. And just I'm definitely not like anti-key collector or anything like that. The app has uses for sure. There's obviously some things that could be better, but that's anything in life really.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
That was
So
it. Sorry, I just had to use the washroom. So what's going on, Rob? Oh, Rob is the one I actually pay. I bought my 1 in 25 Invincible Iron Man 3 from. So solid dude.
oh, nice.
there you
Yeah,
go.
definitely a guy. And I know from Instagram. If you're buying on Instagram instead of eBay and things like that, sometimes it's nerve wracking. This guy was, I would suggest buying from him. Really solid dude, great communication, great packaging, everything. So yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to put my little spiel out there.
Yeah, no worries. I'll have to check it out on the rewind or ask you in backstage. So yeah, guys. So like I said, we will be on Journo's channel on Friday at 7 p.m. I've got a video dropping at 12:30 today. It's just set that way. I don't know. So yeah, so I got that happening on my channel. A few things are going to be happening. I'll be announcing the 2,000 subscriber giveaway coming up real soon. It's probably going to be pretty big, so stay tuned for that. We will be back at it on Valentine's Day. Now, as of right now, we are slated to go on at 9:30 on Sunday. That could change. It just could. It's Valentine's Day. It's a weird time. But nevertheless, if something does happen for whatever reason, we'll be on Monday. And then
So
we'll be,
basically, if the girlfriend's not having that shit, he's gonna push it back a day.
no, listen, I'm working all day. I'm working 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Sunday. So I'm done. So it just depends on like if
Listen, it's your cover story, bro. You tell it how
it's
you
good,
want.
right? If I'm good, right? But yeah, so if we don't go on Sunday, we will go Monday. I'll let you guys know way ahead of time. I won't, leave you hanging last minute. I do want to be consistent and have these videos and our shows go on a consistent level. So as of right now, Sunday 9:30, new comic book day news and spec will happen. Tuesday show. Tuesday we've got Fantastic Four spec. If you guys know me, outside of Iron Man, I love Fantastic Four. So we are going to be talking Fantastic Four spec. So get your popcorn, bring your Coronas, your water, whatever it is. We're going to have fun with that. Hyper, what do you have coming up, brother?
Well, other than my appearance on Journals this Friday, I have some videos I have to drop with a giveaway that I won from one of the members of the community that I just received last week. And there's a few comic unboxings that I also want to do. So that'll be on my YouTube channel at some point this week.
Before I take it to Face, Rag, can you message me on Instagram? I'll talk. So definitely message me if you don't mind. Face, what do you got coming up on your channel, brother?
Me and Keys are still working on that Transmetropolitan stuff. We're getting it ready for how we want to do that. We are, getting all the background information ready to go. And, as I said before, like I think a time or two ago, me and Hyper are working on a project together too. So we'll be getting that ready pretty soon.
Perfect. And guys, I have put Hyper, Mr. Key Issues, even though he's not here. He's always with us in spirit. Hyper's information is there as well. So definitely, guys, make sure you guys go sub everyone. As always, I'll leave you with this. You never know who is selling, who is looking to buy. always support the community, grow the community, support each other, go sub, go follow, help everyone out. With that, I'm out.
Peace.
Peace.